This week, Jack Torano is back in more ways than one. Sam comes on to tell you how to be a Drew diplomat. In Debonair Ideal, we're going to talk cocktails, one of my favorite subjects, and Will and I talk about our favorite stogies of the week. All that and more, so stay tuned. This is a Security Weekly production. Brought to you by, paying homage to the Mecca of tobacco, Pinar del Rio, Cuba, Abe Flores opened his PDR cigar factory in the Dominican Republic over 10 years ago. Abe is one of the hottest boutique cigar makers in the industry today, earning the number 10 spot on Cigar Aficionado's Top 25 Cigars of 2014 with the Abe Flores 1975 Serie Privada. Abe and his team use Cuban blending traditions in a modern boutique Dominican factory. Smoke PDR cigars and cut, light, and taste what they love to do. M. Bombay cigars represent the most admired cigar culture of Cuba. They select the best of the best quality tobacco to use in the aging process. M. Bombay cigars are then rolled in Costa Rica by some of the most experienced cigar rollers, giving it a unique smoking experience. The band portrays the detailed and artistic nature of our small industry. Try the M. Bombay Casera, M. Bombay Mora, and the recently released M. Bombay Havana. M. Bombay cigars, where the cigar is a way of life. I love that I get to smoke cigars and call it work.
Hey, Paul.
What's going on, cigar newbie?
I'm halfway through this cigar you gave me, and I was wondering if I could put it out and save it for later.
No.
Well, I wanted to try the Liga Privada with the Connecticut wrapper, and I was wondering where I could get some of those.
Yeah, so those don't exist.
Well, I also have some of the cigars you gave me from before, and I was wondering if I could store them in my refrigerator.
Only if you're going to eat them.
Don't be like Mark. Subscribe to Stogie Geeks Shorts with Paul and Will, a 10-minute show about all things cigar smoking. We provide tips and tricks on humidification, cigar storage, mini reviews on select cigars, accessories, and more. Stogie Geeks Shorts is one-stop shopping for learning about which cigars to smoke and the right way to cut, light, and store your favorite stogies. You can watch Stogie Geeks Shorts on our YouTube channel or subscribe using your favorite podcast app. For all the latest episodes, visit stogieshorts.tv.
Hey, Paul, this cigar is awesome, and I wanted to share it with you, and I was going to cut it in half.
Oh, boy. You need to watch Stogie Geeks Shorts. Welcome, everyone, to the Stogie Geek Show. I'm your host, Paul Asadorian, of course, broadcasting live from G-Unit Studios in Rhode Island, where it is hot and humid and sticky. And Will is on the lines via Skype from North Carolina. Will, welcome to the show.
Hey, Paul, and it's equally hot, humid, and sticky in North Carolina.
Yes, this is, I think we have an episode title called Hot and Sticky.
Yeah, hot and
Stogie
sticky.
Geeks episode 194, Hot and Sticky. There we have it. So we've got a fantastic show. I'm excited to interview all of our fabulous guests this evening. We're going to start with Jack Torano. We're going to move on to learn about the Drew Diplomat. We're going to talk about cocktails and stogies of the week. And, of course, first, because Jack has to make his appearance every month or so in some way, shape, or fashion on the Stogie Geek Show. And it's very, very exciting to have him here to talk about the news we're going to talk about him with, because Jack Torano is back, and in a way that maybe you predicted, maybe not. But Jack is back. Jack, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on again.
And it's interesting, Jack, when you first were coming on the show and you adorned the name Jack Torano, I was, of course, familiar with Torano Family Cigars. And your career, as you've talked about here on the show, has taken you to different places, but it's come full circle. So why don't you share the news with our our listeners and viewers.
It has I think about 5-6 weeks ago. I think after pestering the people at General enough, they decided to bring me on board. They figured it was easier to hire me than keep taking my phone calls. So they brought me on board, and I'm back.
So,
hopefully on to great things.
Jack, are you the brand ambassador? What's your title exactly?
That is exactly my title
Okay.
right now.
Excellent. Of the cigars that adorn your family name. And so obviously it's just your brand ambassador for just the Torano series of cigars that are owned by General Cigar, correct?
Exactly. I will be out promoting and doing events and all type of things around the Torano brand. I imagine as I get more familiar with the hundreds of SKUs that General has, I'll be more of an ambassador of the entire line, but I have a lot of learning to do on that end.
So, Jack, the Torano brand underwent some packaging redesigning. Were you involved with that, or that happened before you came on, right?
That happened before I came on, and I think that was early in the beginning of the year, and I started seeing it leading up to Cigar Fest in Pennsylvania, and that's when I started talking to them again. In depth about me possibly coming on board.
I remember you said that you met with them there, and you were a little cagey on the details. And when you made the announcement, it wasn't a surprise. So, but you described it as always being a good relationship with General Cigar and with your previous company as well. So, as all of us that have careers know, sometimes that can be a difficult situation, but. You've seemed to make it work with all of your former and current employers, which is great.
Well, yeah, I mean, it ended well with Roberto and Duran. I mean, I think they knew where my heart was, and it was we were in a place leading up to the trade show where I think the Duran team was in a good position going forward, and there's a few details that I'll leave out, but it was a good parting of ways with Duran, and it's where I've wanted to be for, I think, since the day after Charlie sold the company. I just wanted to trying to figure out a way to get back to the brand.
Well, that's good that you're back. Now I want to talk a little bit about this packaging, Jack. Because
yes,
it reminds me of some other kind of packaging. I can't ignore that fact that it is somewhat familiar to me of another cigar brand's packaging.
I have no idea what you're talking about. It's absolutely. I mean, listen, what is it? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I hope they're flattered.
You know what's interesting, Jack? I was telling you I was smoking the Green Band of the Vault, which we'll get into. And I went to there's a little pub over on the South Carolina border I go to, and I was there yesterday, and I lit one of these up, and there were two comments I got. The first person said, "What are you smoking?" Because that band popped out, and then there was another person who said, "What kind of blank cigar is that?" Meaning the company it looked like. So I got two, but the first comment was very interesting to me because obviously it made a very, very big impression on that person who just wanted to know what I was smoking.
Yeah. It definitely it's eye catching. It pops on the shelf. I mean, there's no denying what it looks like. We have a new Exodus that's coming out for the trade show that you'll see next week. And that brings a little more color, not a solid color box. Very cool box. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen any of the pre-release pictures of it. I don't think there's been many out there. I think they're trying to keep it like Coop says, very close to the vest. And but it's a really cool box. They're going with the colors and stuff that'll pop on the shelf. So, listen, I'm very happy with the packaging. I'm very happy. I'm just happy that I'm back.
Jack, one thing that you mentioned when you told me the news, and I was really appreciative how you kind of trusted me to kind of deliver that first message on that, was you mentioned that you were really, one reason why you were back on board was you saw what they were doing, you were on board with their vision. What was kind of the vision now that they were looking to take the Torano brand forward? Because it's been almost 2 years since they acquired the brands.
Well, like I said, I mean, I off and on, I've spoken to them, from the old president to the new president to the marketing guys to the vice president. I've spoken to them off and on for about a year and a half, and they really were trying to figure out and formulate a plan moving forward for the Torano brand, and they didn't have it. So they're, in my own way, I think I could have helped last year too, but clearly they didn't have a need for me last year. And I think once I saw the redesigns and they were showing me all the things that they were doing going forward, it's when it really sparked my interest in Pennsylvania at Seafest, to pursue it again. And I mean, I couldn't be happier with the direction. I couldn't be happier. I mean, it's truly, Coop, it's where I've wanted to be.
So, Jack, I want to ask you, since the change in general acquiring Torano, how have the cigar lines changed? And what are some of the highlights there in terms of there been some major line extensions or new brands, or have they, did they pretty much stick with what they had for a while? Like, what significantly has changed?
Well, they did. They stuck with the core brands for a while, and I think what now they've reduced it to is what are referred to as the legacy brands, which will be the Exodus 59, the Casa Torano, the Reserva Selecta. There's about 6 or 7 of them that are the legacy lines that are, predicate approved, that will move forward along with the new vaults, the new Exodus, and I'm not sure what's going to happen after that. I mean, I don't think anybody is. So.
Yeah. So, were there brands or lines rather within Torano that they stopped making, and now with FDA, do you see them bringing those back?
No, not really. I mean, the plan, I believe the plan, and I mean, again, I'm just learning everything, but I believe the plan is that the ones that aren't predicate will be phased out over the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
The vault lines, and a couple others that came after 2007. And we'll stick to a really nice 10 to 12 blend core lineup. And it'll be a real nice portfolio moving forward. So I don't think anything's been discontinued as of today, as of now. But I think there probably is a few that won't be once they run out. They'll be phased out.
And that's because they were after the predicate date.
Yeah. That's what I've been led to believe.
That's going to be an interesting change in our industry as a whole, not just with Torano.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know what'll happen if the predicate date were to change, or if I don't know what anything is. I mean,
right.
I watch all these shows, and everybody comes on and speculates about what's going to happen, and I mean, nobody knows.
Right.
Jack, in terms of Vault, though, they've made a big change with Vault. Is that something post-predicate that they're more committed to right now? Maybe, hey, these are things maybe we want to apply for substantial equivalence for and keep it?
Oh, absolutely. The 2 new vaults, the 2 new brick and mortar vaults, and the 2 new online only vaults, along with Exodus, will be applied. They'll go through all the paperwork for them, and they won't go anywhere. So,
Jack, talk a little bit about the Exodus, because I like that, and I forget which one exactly the one that I did like. It's been a while since I've smoked it. But the Exodus line is always one that I really like to smoke.
Well, Exodus had quite a few different lines. It had the original Exodus 1959, the Exodus Silver, the Exodus 50-year anniversary, which was a 2008-2009 blend. Then the Exodus Finite, which was a limited edition.
That's a great cigar.
Which is a fantastic cigar. So I think if everything stays the way it's going, I think what'll stay is the Exodus 59, which was the top 5 cigar in Cigar Aficionado in like 2005.
That's the one I smoked. I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, along with the new Exodus. That's the others will kind of slowly fade away.
Interesting. So at the show, what new stuff can we see other than what you've already mentioned?
Well, I mean, the new vaults will be featured there along with the new Exodus and then the legacy brands. But I mean, the new vaults came out like 3 weeks ago, so a lot of the country hasn't seen them yet. So they'll be featured there along with the new Exodus line and you know, the Casa and some of the others.
What's the new vault for our listeners? What sizes and wrappers and things like that?
The new vault, the green label. I think we were talking about it before we went on the air live. The new vault green, which is this guy right here.
Yes, that's the box.
Here.
Yeah, you were kind enough to send us. Yep, we
That
got
is
one of those.
the P044, and that's a Nicaraguan puro. That's a wrapper binder filler, all from different regions of Nicaragua. It's got a little jalapa in there. To me, it's got a little more more kick than the purple band, which is that guy, which is again the TM027, which is a Mexican San Andre wrapper, along with Nicaraguan binder filler, and a little smoother than the green label.
I agree. Yeah, it's got that Maduro kind of feel to it. Very smooth.
Yeah, Jack, when I think Torano, I think two things. For the most part, I think value price cigars. I mean, so there's not these $20 Toranos. And then most of the cigars, I'd say, are in the medium range. I mean, that green label was a little bit, I think, a little more medium plus. But for the most part, that's what I've always seen with Torano. And that's what I'm getting with the purple, is that classic Torano medium profile here.
Yeah.
I think earlier we had a couple of lines. The Virtuoso and the Signature lines were on the medium plus side, a little bit stronger. But Torano's never put out that very strong knock you on your ass cigar. So and the price points are amazing. I mean, the new vaults come in 2 sizes only. They're where the Exodus will come out in 4 sizes. The new vaults are Robusto 550 or a Gordo 660. And the 550 is $5.50, and the Humberto just walked in, and and a Torano shirt, and the Gordo is $660. Oh, $650.
Talking about Gordo, Jack is back. So am I.
That's Humberto for a few weeks. Now, so we have Humberto now making the Where's Waldo appearances.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
But now Torano had this. It was next door, and it had these short kind of Robusto, large ring gauge format cigars in it. What was that all about?
The LFC.
Yeah,
those were like 4 1/4 by 40 something, 42s maybe, 4 1/4 by 40. I don't know. It was something like a nub.
Yes.
You know, I'm sorry, 4 1/4 by 60.
60. Yep.
Yeah.
4 1/4 by 60, and it you know, wasn't as successful as we wanted it to be. But we had the Exodus 50 year, the Loyal, the Master was in that, and which other cigar? Master, Loyal. I don't even know what the other cigar. Oh, the Vault.
Yeah, the Vault. I was gonna say it was a Vault. Yeah.
It was a Vault Black, and it sold pretty well when we put it out at the show. But you know, the reorders just never came in on that, and well, you know, when the company sold, I found myself with a bunch of those at my house. So I smoked a lot of them.
Jack, the other thing that was interesting about the Vault, you mentioned there were 2 brick and mortar, and then this is something I've seen General do a lot. They do brick and mortar, and then they have online internet catalog. So there's 2 vaults that are brick and mortar, and then there's that are exclusive, and then there's 2 that are specifically for the online catalog ones.
Correct. The other. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
The online exclusive, I think it's a blue box and might be like a yellow box. I have not smoked them. I don't know what the differences are. But yeah, they're the same price point and just something for the online guys. And I know there's differences in the four cigars. So.
With FDA coming, do you think you're going to see more direct to online, less direct to online, or is it not going to impact it at all?
I have no idea. Again, I'd be speculating. I don't know. I mean, I am so interested in what I'm sure Coop is too. What the theme, the vibe, what you're going to get at that trade show. I mean, it's just I have people telling me what they think they're going to expect, and everybody has a different opinion on what they're going to see and how the boutiques are going to do and how the big boys are going to do and how this and how I'm so interested in getting there already and seeing after day one or day two what the feel is for the show.
Yeah, I mean I mean to try to speculate it, Jack. From what I'm seeing the last few weeks, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Russian roulette right now, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm more usually by the time we get to the trade show, we are all so worn out from trying to get everything in time to meet the deadline for the show, and this year and the show rolls around and we're just exhausted. But I'm really fired up about what's going to happen this year and being back with Torano and in the general booth. So.
One thing we talked about was, you went from, Torano, I'd say, was a small company. It was a family-owned company. And then, Duran, obviously, is a boutique company. And then now you've gone to the big company. And, Jack, the reaction of everyone, I mean, was amazing. Because normally when I've seen moves made like that by other people in the industry, it's been met with mixed feelings, but I did not see that with this particular move. I think it was I didn't see one negative comment about this move.
Oh, can I answer? That's because he's Jack Torano. Come on.
Yeah.
There's no other answer to that question other than he is Jack Torano.
Let me tell you that when Coop and I talked before the official announcement went out and Coop broke the official announcement, when we spoke, you can ask Coop. I was worried about that. I thought, man, this is there's always some negative comments, and I thought, man, I hope people understand that where my heart is, and
well, yeah, Jack, you can't focus on the negative. You got to focus on the positive. You got to do what's good for you, and hope that people that are going to get on board, they're going to get on board, and they're going to support you, and everyone else, screw them,
But again, I was just blown away. I mean, I think the day after the announcement went out, I spoke with Coop, or we exchanged text messages, and I was like, dude, this is like 500 likes, and everything's positive, and
it's great.
And the closest thing anybody came to any negative comments was the cigars look like Camachos. That was
that was you. That wasn't you. You inherited that problem, actually.
Yeah.
I've been in positions where I've inherited things like that, and it's fine. But Jack, for our listeners who are true Stogie Geeks, now that you're the brand ambassador for Torano, knowing what our connoisseur, cigar smoker, listener profiles are, what Torano cigars, which ones do you recommend that they try if they haven't tried some of the Torano family cigars?
If they're anything like me, it varies by the time of day. Either at this time or in the morning, I love a Casa Torano because it's a nice mild cigar. I love to have it with coffee. After lunch, I like a stronger cigar. Again, we don't have that knock you on your ass cigar, but I've been lucky enough that I now get to sample all the general offerings, and there's some really great ones in there. So it's like a whole new world has been opened up to me. And I never really smoked any of those cigars, and now I'm just getting to sample all these great cigars that I've heard people talk about over the years. And I'm enjoying not only the Toranos because I'm very familiar with the Toranos. I'm getting to enjoy a lot of their newer stuff.
So what are you liking from their newer stuff, Jack?
That Macanudo Inspirado is
very good cigar.
Is amazing to me. Is
that the Maduro? Did I smoke that one on the show?
Well, there is a Maduro.
And then they have there's a few other ones. I don't even know if I'm allowed to mention their names.
There's an orange and a black, and I think it's the same thing. Orange went to brick and mortar, and black went to online.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but the orange brick and mortar one, the Inspirado, is one that you've got to try. I mean, if you haven't tried it yet, it's just an amazing stick. So,
and most people think Macanudo, they don't think of something as for a connoisseur. They think of something for a new smoker.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for you, Jack, in your role to educate people and to encourage them, like we do here on the Stogie Geeks, to try new things like that and forget about your preconceived notions about the brand.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, I there's a lot of preconceived notions about General Cigars and
who is
I've heard
also a sponsor of the show.
Yeah, and I've heard it all, and I'm telling you, whether it was like that years ago before I came around, it's not like that anymore. I mean, I visited the factory. It is one of the most well-run factories I've been around. Of that size, I've never seen any factory run like that. The cigars coming out of there are spectacular. At the national sales meeting, which was fantastic because they hired me, and a week later we were in the DR at the national sales meeting. So I got to hang out and bond with the entire sales team, along with upper management guys, for the president of the company. And it's something that the timing was unbelievable for me, because if not, I would have been meeting them the day before the trade show. So I got to hit the ground running with them, and we got to try so many cigars, and I was just blown away. There wasn't a bad cigar that I tried there.
Now, a lot of us that have careers for a living, it might be in sales. We know what the national sales meeting in what you think of, but like, what's a national sales meeting like for one of the largest cigar companies in the world? Like, how many cigars are smoked?
Do you actually have a sales meeting at that national sales meeting? I've seen others.
It was a lot. It was probably 50% meetings, and we had a couple of days that were stock full of meetings, but the nights and some of the other off days were just spectacular. We spent 2 days we spent one full day at the factory. We spent another day traveling to this all-inclusive resort where we had meetings, and I mean, I know that third day we had this catered dinner on the beach, and I was joking with the guys there that I feel like I've been called up to the show. I said, this is something I've never experienced before. I was just blown away. And they said, yeah, you got called up from AAA to the show. And I said, you guys thought I was in AAA? Oh my God.
Jack, you mentioned the team at General. Yeah, you mentioned the team at General, and they're a big company, but I'm going to say from a media standpoint, I've always been able to reach out to a lot of people. I've never had a problem with someone not reaching back out to me when I've reached out. So, I give General credit on that.
From what I understand, and what I've seen, it's getting so much better. The new president, Regis, he's a guy that wants to be out there, he travels and visits brick and mortars and connects with consumers. And I mean, this guy is gonna do wonders for General Cigar to bring back that relationship, to be able to connect the consumer and a retail store owner to the big company. It's definitely not that cold company that everybody used to think it was. So.
Well, Jack,
Paul, we have a giveaway, I think.
Oh, let's do a giveaway.
Yeah.
Let's do a giveaway.
So, Jack, Jack was kind enough to do a giveaway. And what do we have, Jack?
I'm going to put together, I got a real nice 10-count Jack Torano little travel case. I'm going to put together about 8 or 10 cigars, including the new blends. I'll even throw in the new Exodus. So I'll send it out as soon as I get back from the trade show. So I'll have that Exodus. I'll throw in a real nice Jack Torano family cutter. I'll put something together real nice. You just got to help me pick a winner.
Okay, what do we want to do, Paul?
So I want you to email the show at stogiegeeks.com. I want you to name your favorite Torano family cigar, and we'll pick a winner at random, and they'll win a fabulous prize pack.
Name your favorite Torano, and it better be me.
Yeah, there you go. That's an acceptable answer.
They got to get another cigar. Your name on it.
There you go. We need the Jack Torano Reserva Limitada. That's what I want to see next. Well, Jack, thank you very much. We wish you, of course, the best of luck. It's always nice having you here on the show, and we all know it's not luck. It's Jack's wonderful personality and hard work and perseverance that allows him to do things like now be the brand ambassador for Torano Cigars. Jack,
Paul,
thank you very much.
Congratulations on the baby again.
Thank you very much, Jack.
And Coop, I look forward to next week and seeing you.
Yeah, I'll be seeing you for sure. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of each other. So thanks for all the support as always, and we look forward to your journey with Torano.
Well, you got to buy Jack a drink at the show.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, or several.
Yeah, we'll put it on the Stogie Geeks account.
All right.
There you go.
All right. All right,
Thanks,
guys.
Jack.
Take care.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Stay tuned. We got more coming up next.
Yeah, buddy.